I got a push alert. Try again at 8:07. I showed up on time. Hook. The alert didn't come from a calendar I remembered creating or an app I trusted with my heart. It just slid across my lock screen at 7:53 p.m. No logo, no preview text, just a quiet tap on the shoulder. Try again at 8:07, same place, less armor. Below it, a single-line description. Phones face down. 2 truths, 2 questions. Hand on back equals I'm here. Whoever coded that push knew me too well. Or I'd scheduled it when I was braver than I am most nights. My name is Ethan, 36, the kind of project manager who can put a crisis into a spreadsheet and make it look domesticated. My husband is Lucas. He teaches high school art, which means he spends most of his day convincing teenagers not to be embarrassed by color. We've been married long enough to memorize how the other person likes their eggs, and short enough that the kitchen still surprises us with better light on some mornings. Lately, though, we'd been passing more than arriving. 2 ships with good intentions, generous wake, and schedules that never once stopped the ocean. Try again at 8:07. The push alert tagged a location with absurd confidence. The window. In our marriage, that meant the big pane by the table we bought used, the one that wobbles if you cut bread too forcefully. I stood in the doorway of our apartment like a tourist reading a poster in a language he half remembers. If this was spam, it was trying to sell me something I'd already wanted. If it was Lucas, he had figured out how to reach me in the only tone I respect, a directive wrapped in gentleness. At 8:05, I set our phones face down by the sink. When Lucas came in from school, collar smudged with chalk, sleeves rolled up from scrubbing paint, smile tired, he paused when he saw them and then me. His eyebrows did that small bow they do when he's deciding between humor and tenderness. He chose tenderness. Try again, he said, like I'd suggested it and he was just catching up. Apparently, I said, and nodded toward the window. We stood there with the city outside performing its nightly proof of existence. Scooters asking permission, elevator cables making decisions, a laugh on the sidewalk that didn't need a punchline. Lucas reached and set his palm between my shoulder blades. Right in that recess, we borrowed from our first therapist and started calling the back of the heart. We kept YouTube clean, but I can say this. Sometimes a hand is the only translator you need. I exhaled in the same language. The alert had said 2 truths, 2 questions. Lucas went first. Truth, he said, looking at the glass the way he looks at a sketch he almost likes. I started texting you thumbs up because the icon wouldn't take it personally if I got the timing wrong. He swallowed. Second truth, I miss the way you used to put your keys on the table like a promise, not a retreat. My turn. Truth, I said. I kept taking extra shifts because a full schedule can't reject me. The second truth was smaller and heavier. I want to be the kind of man who's easy to come home to, but I've acted like a hall monitor for months. Questions, he asked, and knocked a knuckle gently on the window frame, our version of a starting pistol. When did you stop knocking on the kitchen doorway? I asked. When silence seemed safer than being told I did it wrong, he said, with no accusation, only history. What would you ask for if you didn't pre-apologize? Your hand at 8:07 every night for 4 minutes with no words, I said. And that we talk like inventory, not like lawyers. 3 facts, 2 fears, 1 request. He laughed the good laugh, the one with a vowel so soft it sounds like a velvet door opening. Inventory doesn't bite, he said. We put water in the good glasses, the ones we save for company like we are the guests we live with. We drank water like an occasion and the room obeyed, becoming briefly the place where we've celebrated every ordinary mercy. The push alert vibrated again, this time not a command but a receipt. Nice work. You've earned an 812. I have no idea how I coded that, but I'll deny it in a court of law. Inventory at 8:12. I went first. 3 facts. Today I answered 2 of your texts with later and meant not at all. I threw away an invitation to happy hour because I didn't trust myself to leave early. I asked my boss for Tuesdays off after 6. Lucas tilted one eyebrow, surprised, not skeptical. 2 fears. That if I stop being useful, I'll stop being lovable. That if I ask for your help, I won't know how to give it back. 1 request. Kiss me when you walk in, even if we're behind on everything. Lucas. 3 facts. I folded laundry that could have waited while you were upset. I replaced a conversation with a thumbs up. I pushed our window time to finish a set of lesson plans I could have done badly tomorrow. 2 fears. That my patience is really retreat. That my need for order is a way to keep you at arm's length. 1 request. Please ask me for dumb things. Hold the bowl. Sit here. Put your hand here. We didn't admire ourselves for being vulnerable. We did the dishes. But we did them without turning the task into an apology. After, Lucas pulled a craft notebook from the drawer we keep for the things we pretend we'll use. On the cover he'd written Manual of Staying, approved by no one asterisk asterisk. Inside, 5 rules in his blocky teacher handwriting. 1 window 8:07 4 minutes, hand on back, no commentary. 2 inventory 8:12 asterisk, 3 facts, 2 fears, 1 request. 3 water at 8:20 asterisk, the good glasses, we are company. 4 no diagonals asterisk, when we walk the block, we don't cut across the parking lot. Time saved isn't heart saved. 5:11 11 receipt asterisk, 1 precise thing that mattered today, no resume. Looks like a syllabus, I said. Looks like a map, he said. I'm better with maps than feelings. Same, I said, and put my hand where it belongs. The next morning I found a postcard taped to our fridge with painter's tape, the only adhesive we trust, a photograph of a park bench at dusk. On the back he'd written, reserved 8:07 asterisk. We added a magnet to keep it in place like a paper railroad spike. That night I came home early enough to make the water taste like victory and put my phone in the drawer we use for the spoons that don't match. When Lucas walked in, he tripped over the threshold on purpose and kissed me like a down payment on something reasonable. We failed early and often. On Wednesday I sent running late without adding I'm sorry, and Lucas texted back a picture of the manual with Article 0, clear language. On Friday he made a joke umbrella over my reign of a mood, then closed it, raised both hands like an usher calling intermission, and put his palm on my neck. I'm parking the joke in the garage, he said. We both laughed, which is another way of saying oxygen. We added a few kitchen sink rituals because kitchens are where contracts get signed in real houses. The excuse garage went on a sticky note under the radiator. Park, it's nothing, and I'm just tired here. You can retrieve them, but only after you read them out loud. We started a $5 duty-free asterisk on Fridays. 1 small, useless, beautiful thing on the table to name together. The first week it was a green marble I bought from a kid with a tackle box of treasures. Lucas named it Immigrant Planet and set it by the salt. Sometimes 8:07 didn't happen, buses get cute, meetings swell, the dog we don't own needs petting in the lobby. We invented a reentry rule. Miss 8:07 and you come back at 8:17. Same window, same hand, plus 1 required I missed you. It wasn't poetry, but it got the job done, the way bread gets the job done when you forgot how to cook on purpose. At 3:15 p.m. on a Tuesday, my phone buzzed with a new kind of push. Asterisk 15 listen to 11 seconds of water asterisk. I'd recorded the washing machine at a laundromat weeks earlier during a crisis I'd mistaken for a personality. I listened. The drum turned, the water insisted. The world got momentarily less impressed with itself. Present/train, I typed to Lucas, because sometimes a location is a feeling. He wrote back present/scissors, and I pictured him trimming someone's fear into a shape they asked for. We chose a witness because marriages need one person who is not your group chat. We nominated our neighbor Tanya, who spoils the building with muffins and geese-level honesty. Once a month she texts window, and we reply with one sentence each. She never comments, never suggests. The first time I wrote present/sink. Lucas wrote present/balcony. Tanya hearted both like a notary stamping a form. On a humid Thursday, I ruined dinner by trying to cook on the stove and my phone at the same time. Lucas took over without martyrdom, and I sulked without pride until we both looked at the bench postcard on the fridge and started laughing at our own pretend famine. We ate cereal standing up and then sat down because standing up has been the enemy of us for months. We did the 8:07 like amateurs and felt like professionals by the time the 4 minutes ended. Sometimes we took the no diagonals walk, arm around waist like people who both lost and won something they can't name. The city applauded in ways that are easy to miss. A tiny dog decided we were trustworthy. A teenager on a scooter learned to curve around us like we were a monument under construction. An old man left a bag of hard candies on the bench with a note that said, "For those who keep their hours." We split the candy and let the syrup shut us up in the best way. The push alerts kept coming, rare enough to feel like kindness. One afternoon, practice joy at 3:15, 2 pastries, one for you, one for someone walking your pace. I bought 2 cinnamon twists and gave one to a woman whose shoes had decided not to argue with her. "For a Thursday that wants to apologize," I said. She grinned at me like I'd handed her a headline. That night Lucas put the paper bag on the table like a trophy that didn't require a speech. Weeks in, I found the instruction at the bottom of the manual like a footnote that had been waiting for the right page. Same house, 100. Stop at the door. Hand on the door, not the handle. Say, "I'm here." Only then enter. We tried it. It's hard to explain how 1 minute of manners changed the temperature of our air. We started checking in with the door on purpose, and the door started checking back. It wasn't one story to tell friends over drinks. It was a lot of small receipts. The bench card grew soft at the corners from being touched. The green marble migrated to the window sill and watched us with its amphibious approval. Tanya texted window, and we answered from rooms that didn't always look like progress. Present/laundry and present/bed. I started catching myself before "I'm just tired" and parking it in the garage, then saying the thing I was ducking. "I was embarrassed at work," or "I need you to be too much with me for 10 minutes. On a night when we both missed 8:07 and 8:17, the city gave us an 11:11. We lay on the floor and said one true small thing each. Lucas said, "I liked when you asked if your email was mean and then listened to my answer." I said, "I liked when you left the last good peach for me even though your face said maybe I won't." We laughed, which is also a kind of peacemaking. Then we slept like people who got something gently correct. Yesterday, searching for my wallet, I found a folded scrap of paper in the jacket I wear when I think I'm someone else. It was the original phrase from the first night, the one the push alert asked me to write. I'd added something in pencil at some point, looping through the printed letters like I trusted my own handwriting again. I confuse reliability with love. I'm learning to prefer love on purpose. I set the paper on the sill by the green marble. Love is not a guarantee, but apparently it has a gift for indexing lost receipts. I still don't know if I coded those push alerts in a past burst of clarity or if Lucas did the most beautiful hacking a marriage can allow. It doesn't matter. Tonight at 8:07, a hand will find the back of the heart and a window will give us a city on loan. At 8:12, we'll count without being accountants. At 8:20, the water will taste like occasion. And if we miss, we will, in fact, try again. 8:17, 11:11, whenever mercy is available. The alert arriving on my phone says nothing about fireworks or swans. It just says try again, which is the only miracle I believe every time.